Yes, I can see for miles since I got my new eyeglasses from Ocala Eye, and I am not just saying that. It's absolutely true. We started getting to know the folks over at Ocala Eye when I was still wearing my CVS $7 glasses. No offense to CVS, but but the glasses just weren't doing everything I needed to have done. And I literally couldn't see, here's the best example. I could not read the mile marker any longer on the highway.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so now I can read the mile marker. And Zora Harrison is here from Ocala Eye. How you doing, Zora?
I'm great. How are you guys?
Good. I have a Father's Day eyeglass story to tell you.
Oh, good.
Okay, I went to Panera. Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Panera Bread with my son. You can tell I don't go over very often. I go with him once a year. So we went to Father's Day last year. I had no idea what was up on that menu. I didn't know what I was even looking at. I couldn't see it.
Yeah.
It was all blurry, and I didn't want to tell him I can't read it. So he ordered something, and I said, "Yeah, I'll get the same thing." So I cheated like that, I think a lot of people do this, right? So when I went on Sunday, I said, "Oh my gosh, I could read the menu."
Oh,
right?
wow.
And he said, "You couldn't read the menu last year?" I said, "No, I just got new glasses." He said, "Oh yeah," and then he recognized they were different. And I really could. I could read it. I could even read the calories. I said, "Wait a minute."
That's not the fun part. They ruined it.
Are you supposed to order by the price or the calorie now?
Well, I mean, they definitely ruined the lunch because nobody wants to
Yeah, now you better.
see those calorie counts. So, especially the cookies.
Yes.
They offer you the 99-cent bakery item, which sounds great. And you look over there, and there's like 450 calories in a cookie.
Isn't it unbelievable how many calories?
Is.
And what's a diet? 2,000?
2,000 is the standard.
A day.
Yeah.
A day. Unless you're rowing across the Pacific.
Right. Exactly.
Hey, Nikki, how you doing?
Morning. Good. How are you?
Good.
Yeah, so I read this article that said if you drink one a can of Coke, it's the same amount of sugar as 4 donuts. Isn't that crazy?
Are you kidding?
No, I'm not kidding.
I'd rather eat the 4 donuts.
I know. That's what I said. I don't drink soda anyway, but I thought, wow, that put it into perspective. So if you've noticed nowadays when you go places, the calorie count's there. So
on everything.
It's supposed to be more conscious about what you eat.
Nikki, I was telling Zora that on Father's Day I could read the menu at what's it called? Panera Bread.
Okay.
Last year my son took me there and I just ordered what he got because I couldn't read it. This year I could read it because I got new glasses. But you can also see the calories.
Yes, you can.
Very disturbing.
They're there.
Huh?
I didn't want to, because last year I went to pay and he called me an asshole. He said, "Dad, you're an asshole." So I said, "Oh, come on." So all year long it bothered me. So this year I said, "I'm not going to pay. I don't want to be an asshole anymore." But I want to order something that's, not too expensive. And I said, "Well, wait a minute.
That's not possible."
I know.
Panera is kind of pricey.
It is a little pricey. But they say that they, I don't know if they use the word organic, but they have I guess they naturally try to source as many of their products as possible. Because in the beginning, it wasn't that expensive.
Right.
You could go to the Pick 2 or whatever and, maybe $8 or so. But now, if you get a drink, it's like $15 for lunch. So
Yeah, that's right.
Is.
I see. I know it all too well because I spent a lot of time at Heathbrook. So,
well, that's the exact one we went to.
Yeah. So our office is obviously right above there, and when Lindsay and I are there working, we'll sometimes go downstairs and.
Oh, we could have. You're not there on Sunday though, right?
No, and I shouldn't call it working because obviously we've not picked up a paintbrush or anything, and that's kind of where we're at right now is painting, but. Definitely being there and making sure things are going smooth and knowing, answering questions as they went along. So I've had withdrawals. I haven't been there in a week.
So it's expensive, but you still go.
Yeah, you know what? I do. I do think it's pretty good. I mean, I like their salads. And then I like that they have an assortment of drinks that aren't sugar.
I do like that part, yes.
They have the tea and, stuff like that. So, and if you try it,
I like that prickly pear tea.
That one's good. And then
really
they have
good.
a blood orange lemonade. Now, I didn't drink it because it did have, I don't know, it did have sugar, but I had gotten it for a board meeting and they liked it. They said it was pretty good.
And hibiscus tea is good.
That's
too.
what I drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes you feel like you're drinking something, with flavor, but it doesn't have, 100 grams of sugar in it.
So my son is in really good shape, like all of you are. I said, "What can I do?" He said, "Watch the calories." And,
It's the calories.
And right on the thing, it says the calorie number, right?
And the sugar. So I think you have to balance and make sure that, you're not lowering the calorie by increasing the sugar content too. So
What?
yeah. So
I
sometimes
thought
they'll put,
they went hand in hand.
no. Mm-mm. So if you look at some things, they'll say like low calorie on it or like low fat.
Yeah.
And they just substitute things. So you just have to be careful and read it.
Oh, the calories not enough?
I don't know. I mean, well, yesterday I got a lesson from Chris Bond, which is our PR relations manager.
I know, Chris.
Yeah, so
He's your movie star.
He's our movie star. So he's doing this keto. I hope I say it right. Diet.
That's Jay and I have done that.
Keto, yeah. And so he was sharing with Charlotte and I yesterday some of the videos that he watched and the thought
Videos?
process. Yeah, I guess there's two.
To teach you
One's
how
a
to eat?
doctor. Yeah.
Okay.
Or like what to avoid. So like my favorite thing to go to is walnuts, or not walnuts, but cashews. Like I love, they have these salt and pepper cashews, and I'm like, well, if I get hungry, I try to eat nuts. He's like, yeah, those aren't the right ones. I'm like, what? So you almost have to. I haven't researched it at all. He was just kind of telling us yesterday. It's more of like a protein.
It
I
is.
guess,
It's a very
vegetable-
high fat diet. That's
Yeah.
what basically sustains your appetite, but your body processes and burns that fat quicker.
Really?
So in turn, it helps your
So no
metabolism.
carbs, none of the good stuff.
Yeah, no
we were
carbs.
watching these ladies, these four ladies that were canoeing from San Francisco.
Rowing.
Oh.
From San Francisco to Australia.
Oh,
I know.
Yeah.
that sounds terrible.
Yeah.
How many calories a day?
Those things
5,000.
aren't very
They
big.
burn 5,000.
Yeah, so they eat 5,000
What are they going to do
calories
in
a
rough
day.
seas?
I don't know. They
I don't know. That's
I saw
crazy. Sharks,
whales
all
and
kinds
everything,
of
yeah.
stuff. There's no way.
The little rowboat might tip over. What are they going to do then?
I'm assuming
No,
they
that
have
would be
something
awful.
following them. I don't
that
know.
would be really
Oh my
awful.
goodness!
I
no.
actually saw where Michael Phelps, when he trains, that he has to eat like 5,000 or 6,000
Yeah.
calories a day.
His
I think
mother
The
told us
Rock
that.
eats something crazy.
Who does?
Yeah.
Rock.
Yeah,
he
'cause
eats
he-
something
he
crazy as
burns
far
it.
as protein and calories a day. It's something astronomical amount.
I keep telling myself that I do a little bit to burn extra calories, but I know I don't. So.
Then your activity tracker's like,
I know. It's sometimes, yeah, my watch will, like, I look at it and I'm like,
I think you're not
that's
working.
not right.
Yeah.
That's not right.
Wait a minute. Those watches tell you how many
I-
calories you burn?
Yeah, mine tells me my calories, and then it tells me how many steps I took, how many miles I walked, and then did I meet my goal or not. And I have these things all calibrate or whatever. So like if you have a week, like I was in New York for a week for work,
Yeah.
and we were crazy busy. Those convention halls are huge, so I was walking like 10,000. One day we did 20,000 steps. So then, but I got home, my watch said your goal today is 12,000 steps.
And
I'm
you're
like,
like,
well,
well,
that's not going to happen, But then like a week of you not doing the 12,000, it goes back to like a number. But
Oh, wow.
yeah, I think the goal, like the goal for everyone's
Is
to see 10,000. There's many a days I don't achieve that, but working on it.
You need
So
to
I
walk
think
to
it's
work.
like, I think exactly. Like if I walk to work though, that would be more than 10,000 steps because I live a long ways.
yeah.
But I think your son's right. It's like a balance of calorie content and exercise. And they're even saying now that it's just the motion. So it doesn't have to be vigorous like running or, the stair climber, but just the walking, the dedicated
walking.
though.
Yeah,
Dedicated to where your body knows that, I guess.
So I have
You
something.
get a little winded.
yeah, get a little winded.
Okay, I have an eye-related thing to tell you. I don't know if it's a question or not, but it was a thing I was listening on the radio on Saturday. There was like a health show, and they were saying antioxidants, and they weren't selling anything as far as I could tell, but antioxidants will, and they had this whole list of things that will prevent, including cataracts.
Huh.
Have you ever heard that?
No. I've definitely heard
Antioxidants help with macular degeneration, but not with
Oh, you
cataract.
have? I've heard with that.
And we recommend certain patients, the retina doctor will look at you or the general ophthalmologist and say you have the type. But there are certain types of macular degeneration that they do recommend the
Really?
AREDS 2 formula, I think it is, for the antioxidants.
Okay, so here's where I always, and this is going to make me probably look stupid, but whenever somebody says you need to eat more antioxidants or more high carbs or low carbs or good cholesterol, but I don't even know what to, is that a potato? What is that?
I think it's hard. That's the question. That's what
So-
I asked Chris yesterday. And
So what is...
Well, good
what is-
carbs are going to be like your clean carbs, like your.
See, again,
is the fruit a good carb? Because he was saying that you couldn't really have fruit either.
Well, fruit isn't bad for you, but it's naturally sweet, so it's
Spikes your
sugar.
insulin
So
or something.
yes, so your good carbs are going to be like green vegetables, green beans, and
Sweet potatoes.
Sweet potato is a good carb. You know, when you're doing keto, though, especially if you
How do you
actually
know all
want
this?
to go,
Is this
Jay and I have
something you
done it.
study? Yeah?
When you actually want to do the keto for real and you want to put your body into ketosis where you don't have any carbs in your system, you know, you have to go a good 7 to 10 days with, you know, no carbs.
Oh, wow.
Do you do this?
We have done it, yeah.
And it does what? It makes you feel better?
Well, it basically just kind of cleanses your system, and then as you start to introduce, you know, kind of introduce good carbs back in, but you know,
But not the bad, not the
Right.
breads and
Right.
chips and
oh
stuff.
yeah, no breads and all that's
So
bad.
name an antioxidant. Is it bananas? What is an antioxidant?
No, I mean like acai berries and
Acai
raspberries
berries?
and
Where do you get them?
blueberries. I don't know. I just heard.
I think they're in a bag.
I don't know where you go.
Acai berry.
CAI, they're in a bag.
Yeah.
But
Here's
then
in a
like
bag.
pomegranates. Those are those little like you've seen the
Pomegranates, you know, they have the commercial with it having all those
Pomegranate. Yeah, I've seen
yeah.
pomegranate.
antioxidants fighting for you or whatever
This
when
is
you don't
lots
feel
of
good.
millions of seeds inside, right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
But the pomegranate juice, you can
Yeah,
get
they can
pomegranate
get juice.
juice.
And that's an antioxidant.
But I did read about that one brand that had it was like full of sugar, like added
Palm
sugar or
wonderful or
something.
whatever it is, I
Yeah,
think.
so I don't know. I think it is kind of hard. That might be why we all struggle because you know you go to the grocery store.
Well, and
it's
I
really hard
think,
to
you know,
tell.
you kind of get these fads, and then
Yeah.
this works for so many people for a little
Right.
while, and then we switch and we decide this
Right.
isn't healthy for us, so
Right.
we want to do
Yes.
this instead. And,
Yes.
you know, it's all kind of a
Or
cycle.
you go to the doctor. I had my physical not too long ago, and he said, "Well, you need to make sure you have a balanced diet. So you have to eat all the different, you know, food pyramids."
yeah, the little pyramid
Yeah.
thing.
And I was like, "Oh, okay. I thought that you know it had changed." And he's like, "No, it hasn't changed. Just, those are all fads." So, and then I'm thinking, okay. And then you know, then I hear about
Right.
this keto whatever diet. You know, so
Well, see-
sounds
And it's
kinda
a good.
hard.
I think it's a good way for people to shed
Quick.
weight quickly.
Yeah.
It's not something good for you to stay on long term
Yeah.
because it is super
Yeah.
high fat.
And you do have to be careful, like weeding the other stuff out. So
Your body
I mean,
does
we
need
know
it.
some things are bad for us, right? We know that going, and I won't name the restaurant, but getting one of their, you know, double sauced big, you know, cheeseburger is probably not the best,
Ooh.
you know, use of calories. They're empty calories,
But it's fat, though, right?
yeah, but I don't think it's the fat she's talking about, right? You're
no,
not
it's
talking.
not. Yeah, all those kind of fats are good fats. Like they encourage you to cook with real butter. Like if you're going to cook your meat or your chicken in,
I love
in a
real
pan,
butter.
real
Yeah,
butter
I'm a
because
winner
it's
on
high in fat.
Right.
You know, things like that.
But like, aren't you saying like you eat like chicken and hamburger and steak and stuff like that? Yeah.
Yes, cheese. You can have cheese. Doesn't hardly have any carbs. So eggs.
So you can eat all that stuff, but it does take a lot of preparedness. You know, I mean, you can't. You have to kind of. There's nothing that you can buy and kind of keep in storage there because you know it goes bad really quickly, and just like vegetables, you know. And then I was kind of surprised there's certain vegetables I guess you can't eat, and
like believe it or not, tomatoes they have a lot of carbs in them.
I had no idea, which I don't even
Really?
This,
They
but
do.
I
Tomatoes
cook
are
with them.
bad?
Tomatoes have good. Well, if you're trying to watch your carbs, they are.
Really?
Oh, didn't know that.
I didn't either.
But then I also learned that broccoli had as much calcium as milk, or more maybe if it said. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Well, that's okay.
And then like there was
I
like this
both.
misconception about almonds. He was saying almonds were supposedly like everybody was thinking, oh, these almonds are so great for you. But then I don't know why he said they weren't. He told me, but I forgot. But he also shared. Chris also told us he was just like the encyclopedia yesterday. He told us that cashews are actually a fruit.
He's in perfect shape.
Cashews are
What's he
a
doing?
fruit.
We don't know. Making us feel worse about ourselves. That's what I think. Because you're like, oh wow. So yeah.
cashews are a fruit.
That's what he says.
didn't know that.
This is from the word of Chris. So
Oh, okay.
This is from
we
the
know you're
encyclopedia.
listening, Chris.
Yeah,
so
the
you can call in and clarify anything you want. So
The encyclopedia.
yeah,
Press.
encyclopedia Chris. But no, I think I do hear our physicians talk about weight loss with their patients. You know, so if we go in and a
Because it
patient-
affects your eyesight?
Yeah,
Your
I
vision?
Well, I just think
it affects
again, your
body.
Just
health
in general.
in general.
Health in
Yeah.
general.
We have
So-
a couple that are big proponents of paleo.
And most of them just more or less like you need to have healthy eating habits because obviously if you're fighting high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, those are all things that we know affect your eyes and your general health. So I think they're kind of and you know what, if you look at our board, our physicians, they're all very healthy. They all exercise. They're not overweight. They really do strive to kind of I think
Really?
work very
Do any of
hard.
them eat like a caveman? We had an author one time. He said, you got to eat like a caveman.
That's one of ours.
one of
We
ours.
have one of ours.
Him and his wife are very.
They're like they do something I think he called like an 80-20 paleo where
Really?
yeah.
Yes.
Well, if I was a caveman, first of all, I would never eat a cow. Because I don't know how I would ever kill it. It'd be
That'd be true.
a chicken. I could kill a chicken.
Yeah.
But a cow, what am I going to do?
I guess in
Jump on
fish
it?
they eat a lot of fish too. I guess.
Yeah, I'd be a fisherman. Yeah. I just can't imagine tackling a cow.
Just banging on the head with a big rock. I don't know.
I'm in.
No, they had spears. You know,
Yeah,
you
you'd
see
have to
them in
make
the-
your own.
You can make
real
it
good.
I bet you if you've ever went to your neighbor cave and they had some steak, you figure out how to take that caveman.
That would be me. Yeah, that would be me. Yeah.
Our
neighbor
little village.
Well, you also have to take into consideration the medications that your patients are
Yeah,
on,
we
too,
do.
that affect their eyes.
Absolutely. We have Medicare calls them high risk drug categories, but there's patients that take certain things that we have to do preventative screenings to make sure they're not affecting their eyes.
And they're not getting any side effects, ocular side
Toxicity,
effects
yeah.
from the actual medication. Plaquenil is a big one. People take that for rheumatoid arthritis.
Oh, really?
Amiodarone, I think of the other one.
They cause corneal
Yeah.
changes. And
So yeah, we always pay attention. We always look at
So
those.
is there something ingestible that does the same thing as eye drops? Something you eat or drink that actually will fix the dry eye thing, or?
I don't know. I mean, I know Dr. Pollack is a huge proponent for Hydra Eye, which has a certain type of oil, isn't it? Like a black or something. I can't remember.
It
it's
falls
something
in that
that's
fish oil family,
Yeah.
but it's more
you
specific.
can't just go buy it over the
Right.
counter. You know, it's specific to this one, and it does increase the tear film production. And my mom's using that and has been using it for years. And if she runs out, she's quick to tell me. So patients that have been on it really do like
She's
it.
quick to tell you, boy, because you're
Like, I need more.
You're the supplier.
I am. I think she's on the mail order now, so luckily I haven't had to do that. But yeah, when she wasn't, she's like, "Oh, I don't know if it was really making that much difference," and then she told me it was.
Do you know what you're pointing out, though? You're pointing out something that is really interesting, especially when you're talking to Robin and me, because we talk to authors, and everybody's got their own opinion. And when we speak to a medical person or a dietary person, it's amazing how one author will completely disagree with the next day's
Yeah.
author, you know?
It's crazy. It
and
is.
so I think the message you're saying right now, what I'm getting from you guys, you ladies, is to go to you. Go to somebody local who studied it. I mean, go to a
they
doctor.
do study it, and they do research. I mean, our practice is heavily involved.
you're not
in
trying to sell a
research.
book.
No.
We have no interest in that. We just have interest in keeping our
I was gonna
our
say.
vision, you know, in our
We're not keeping our
county
patients healthy, and
yeah.
giving them the best medical advice so that
Yeah,
they can
yeah.
live.
You know, people don't
longer,
like to
more,
hear it, though.
quality of life.
We do notice that, you know, who wants to go to the doctor and they say something like, you know, hey, you know, we recommend that you get your weight under control. I mean, nobody wants to hear that, but especially from your eye doctor, and you're probably like, why does the eye doctor care? But he cares because he doesn't want to see you with
I've
a
been in the room
vascular
before
event.
where, they're wearing a medical alert bracelet, and one of them is asked how that's doing, or they'll see a spot on their skin and they're like, have you seen your dermatologist to have that checked out? Or,
Oh, really?
they're very aware of.
Because they're medical doctors. They went
Right.
to medical school. I learned today, we were, Ocala is participating with HCA or Ocala Medical Regional and doing transitional year medical doctors. So they'll come into our practice for 30 days and do some observing with our ophthalmologist. And then this is a transition year before they go into their specialties, subspecialty, cardiac, ophthalmology, whatever that is. But they're all medical doctors. And I learned today for the first time that one of our surgeons, Dr. Pollack, he was telling me that during his transitional year, he delivered over 100 babies and did over 100
wow.
circumcisions. And, you know, it was pretty neat. And Dr. Almala was
I
telling
think patients forget that they are actual medical doctors.
Yeah,
they had
they
to
are.
go through surgical residencies, and
And
they
then
did
they
general
went
surgery.
into
They deliver
ophthalmology.
babies.
I didn't forget it. I never knew it.
No,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
They're
Wow.
medical doctors.
They go to medical school, do their regular. They deliver babies, work ER, work trauma, work all of that stuff, and then they choose their field. Do I want to be a general doctor or a general surgeon? Do I want to be a specialist? And ophthalmology would be considered a specialist. And then they decide, okay, now they go to school to be an ophthalmologist. So that's in addition to medical school. So they have a longer. Any specialist does though. They have a longer period of time that they go because they go in there and then they have to do a residency and a fellowship. Like if the surgeon is a general surgeon, they do a residency and then they go right into practice in general ophthalmology. Some of them go, instead of going right into practice, they go into specialties like glaucoma, retina, cornea, refractive. So it's kind of neat, to learn that. I didn't know till this morning that Dr. Pollack did that, and I was like, wow, that's really cool, And Dr. Romala said he did an internist, so he was an internist.
Well, we had a story this morning. A baby was born on a train in Paris.
Yes.
And so the Paris Transportation Authority, whatever, is going to give this baby free train rides till he's 25 years old.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
That's cool.
When you're 26, you're going to have to pay for this.
So you're 26, like the health insurance, right?
Yeah.
You're off my dime.
Well, that's very fascinating. I think
It
more
was
of that
cool.
should come out
Well,
when new patients come in, because all these years I never ever knew.
You know what? Here I've been working with them I knew that they had this additional schooling, but I didn't know that what each one of them kind of did to help them determine they wanted to be an ophthalmologist. So we are doing a series, and it's called Getting to Know Our Doctors. We just did one on Dr. Armstrong, and we're putting it on our Facebook page.
Nice.
Just gives you a chance to kind of learn who they are and why did they
a little bit
choose
more
this
personal
community.
details about them.
Yeah, I learned something. I've known Dr. Armstrong for 12 years or so. I guess she's been with Ocala Eye, and I didn't know that she was a young teenager when she came to Ocala Eye to observe and decided she wanted to be an eye doctor. I had no idea.
That is interesting.
So, so it was kind of cool. So we decided to do that to kind of give the public a little bit more of a, what about my doctor? Why would I choose Ocala Eye?
And if your ophthalmologist has delivered babies,
Yeah.
and you happen to be pregnant and go into labor
we got you.
moment.
We got your back.
Now, I doubt that there's going to be a need for an emergency circumcision. But
Well,
We hope not.
can you imagine that?
We hope not.
Hurry up, doctor! I'm Jewish.
my time is running out.
We hope not.
When I was pregnant with my daughter, or my son, I'm sorry, one of our doctors, he's retired, Dr. Schwenk, used to tease me and say, well, you're going to have that baby. We're going to have to deliver it right here. I'm like, nope, not going to happen, And they used to always tease all of us because, all of us worked pretty much up until the day we had our babies. We take one for the team around Ocala.
You all had babies around the same time?
Nikki and I had my daughter and her son had really kind of close. But yeah, there was one point that there was 9 when I had my daughter.
It usually goes in
2006.
threes.
It does.
Seriously does. So there's usually 3 people pregnant at any certain time.
Wow.
So if 4 or 5 get pregnant, number 6 is coming
You should
shortly. 'cause
really
there's
do a
usually-
reality show.
We could. There was 9 of us girls pregnant at one time in
Yes,
2006.
yes,
Wow.
Yep, and it was kind of we at that time we used to blame it on the water boy, we
Yeah.
used to say.
Yeah.
And then we had this doctor that I swear to you that every time
Is there a water boy?
there used to be a water boy. I don't remember his name, but mine's the milkman. I don't know. My husband has definitely tattooed my children.
Yes,
they are
he
identical
has.
to him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but we used to tease that this was if you couldn't have a baby, we go put you with Dr. Paglia because every time we'd rotate someone through there, But we being 100 and
Check
so
out this
women.
headline here. You don't have to read it out loud. I just think it's a blast. I just love that headline.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's interesting. The things we talk about here.
So if you can take, I guess, I don't know if my recommendation is whatever, but I can see better now.
Good.
You guys did.
But you didn't know what you were missing, and that's
Yeah.
what we tell people.
Right.
That's true.
Go there, get your eye exam, make sure that we can't make it better because in this world, driving and all of this, why would you not want to see the best you possibly could? So
It is clearly so much better.
good.
Clearly so much better. Yes, everything is. And so if your vision is not quite what it used to be, and that's another thing. My son said you always had great vision.
Yeah.
When did this start? I said, oh my gosh, it's been years.
You should tell them it's just normal.
Because, yeah. What was the word you used? Presbyopia.
Presbyopia.
Yes.
Well, and his hyperopia probably became
Latent hyperopia.
a lot more noticeable when you had the need to have reading glasses because you need
What was it called? Hyperopia?
hyperopia.
Oh, what does that mean?
It just means you're farsighted.
Oh, okay.
You have a short eye and you need a plus prescription, and up until you need reading glasses, your eye muscles work to be able to accommodate.
That'd be me.
Yeah. Oh, that's how you are?
That's what she has,
Yeah.
yes.
And I can accommodate, I can see things, and then all of a sudden I'm like, man, can't see that anymore. So it's fun.
It's creeping up on her. She's
Yeah.
going to notice it when she gets in those digits.
Delicate ears,
Yes.
yeah.
Let me put your song in here. This is your temporary theme song for a while. Thank you, ladies, Nikki
Thank
and
you.
Zora. Do you want to give out contact information?
Sure. Of course, our website, www.ocalai.com, and then our phone number, 352-622-5183.
Follow us on Facebook.
Yes, please. We post good stuff there.
Yes.
Meet
we
the
do.
doctors.
Yes.
Meet our doctors. That's right.
I think I'm there, right? I'll have to look and see.
You better look.
Better luck.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank
We'll
you.
be right back.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an